Hello, my people. Good day to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojola for Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's experiment, and on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift, I want us to look into a topic that has become not just important, but absolutely crucial and critical in our rapidly changing world. Why am I belching? All right. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Learn to adapt to preserve your relevance, especially when conditions shift unexpectedly. Learn to adapt to preserve your relevance, especially when conditions shift unexpectedly. In life, and certainly in our careers and personal journeys, there is one constant, and that is change. And often, that change is sudden, unpredictable, and completely outside of our control. I want you to think about the last few years alone. Global events, technological leaps, shifts in industries, and evolving social norms, wars also. Those who thrived, those who maintained their footing, were not necessarily the strongest or the smartest, but the most adaptable. For too long, many of us have been conditioned to seek stability, to build routines, to master a specific set of skills, and then to rely on them. And while there is value in mastery and routine, an over-reliance on what was can become a significant liability when what is suddenly changes. The world doesn't wait for us to catch up. It doesn't even give a fuck. It moves. And if we don't move with it, we risk becoming obsolete. We risk becoming irrelevant. This is not just about job security, right? It is about personal vitality. It is about intellectual engagement, and it is about the ability to continue contributing meaningfully to the world around us. Relevance is not a static state you achieve. It is a dynamic process you maintain through continuous adaptation. I want you to consider the classic example of Blockbuster versus Netflix. Most of you don't even know. Go Google it. Blockbuster was once the undisputed king of home video. They had a proven model, vast infrastructure, and a loyal customer base. But when conditions shifted with the rise of the internet and streaming technology, Blockbuster failed to adapt. They clung to their old model. They viewed the new technology as a threat rather than an opportunity. Netflix, on the other hand, started as a DVD by mail service, but they were relentlessly adaptable. They saw the shift, embraced it, and transformed into the streaming giant that we know today. Blockbuster's relevance evaporated because they could not or would not adapt. This principle applies to individuals, to all of us, just as much as it does to any company. Think about a skill you mastered 5 or 10 years ago. Is it still as valuable today? Perhaps, but it is likely that the context in which it is applied or the tools used to execute it have evolved dramatically. If you have not evolved with them, your competence, while still present, might be less relevant to current demands. The fear of adapting often stems from a fear of the unknown, all right? A fear of losing what we've already built, or a fear of appearing less competent as we learn something new. It is comfortable to stay in our lane, all right, to stick to what we know. But comfort in a rapidly changing world that we live in can be a dangerous illusion. It is a temporary reprieve that can lead to long-term stagnation. So the question now is, how do we develop this crucial ability to adapt and preserve our relevance? I believe it's a mind shift that requires intentional effort and a willingness to embrace continuous learning. So the first thing you do is develop a mindset of perpetual learning. This means recognizing that learning is not something you finish after school or a specific training program. It is a lifelong journey. Make a conscious commitment to regularly acquire new knowledge and skills. This could be through formal education, online courses, reading, podcasts, or simply engaging with new ideas and people. And number 2, stay curious. Stay observant about new trends. Pay attention to what is happening in your industry, in your community, and the world at large. What new technologies are emerging? What social shifts are taking place? What are the evolving needs of your customers, of your colleagues, of your community? Don't just consume information passively. Actively seek to understand the implications of these changes. And number 3, be willing to unlearn and relearn. This is often the hardest part for all of us as humans. Sometimes the most valuable thing you can do is let go of old ways of thinking or old ways of doing things that are no longer effective. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow, so be open to challenging your own assumptions and replacing outdated knowledge with new insights. This requires humility and a willingness to admit that your current understanding might be incomplete. And number 4, practice flexibility in your approach. See, when faced with a new challenge or an unexpected shift, avoid rigid adherence to your initial plan. Instead, ask yourself, what are the different ways I could approach this? What resources are available? What can I learn from them? Who can I even learn from? Be agile in your thinking and willing to pivot when necessary. This doesn't mean being indecisive. It means being responsive. And number 5, build a diverse network. Surround yourself with people from different backgrounds, different industries, different perspectives. A diverse network exposes you to new ideas. It challenges your assumptions and it provides different viewpoints on emerging trends, right? These connections can be invaluable sources of information and support when you need to adapt. And number 6, you embrace discomfort as a signal for growth. See, as we discussed in previous episodes, discomfort often indicates that you are pushing your boundaries and learning something new. When you feel that familiar unease, instead of retreating, lean into it. See it as an opportunity to stretch yourself and expand your capabilities. Adaptation often feels uncomfortable at first, but it is through that discomfort that new strengths are forged. And finally, regularly assess your own relevance. See, you need to take time periodically to reflect on your skills, to reflect on your knowledge, to reflect on your contributions to your life, to your family, and to the whole humanity. Are they still aligned with current needs and future trends? Where are the gaps? What do you need to learn or change to remain valuable and to remain effective? This self-assessment is not about self-criticism. No, it is about proactive self-development. Learning to adapt is not about chasing every new fad, having this shining object syndrome. No, it is about developing the core capacity to respond intelligently and effectively to change. It is about building resilience, developing innovation, and ensuring that you remain a valuable asset to yourself and to the people around you. When you master adaptation, you stop being a victim of circumstances, all right? And you become a master of your own evolution. You don't just survive unexpected shifts. No. You leverage them as opportunities for growth. You leverage them as opportunities for your advancement and promotion. Your relevance is not threatened, okay? It is strengthened because you are constantly evolving, constantly learning, and constantly contributing in new and meaningful ways. So, my fellow mind shifters, I urge you today to look at the areas in your life where conditions are shifting. Are you resisting? Are you clinging to the past? Or are you actively seeking to adapt, to learn, and to evolve? I want you to embrace the fluidity of change, and you will not only preserve your relevance and impact, but you will enhance it. You will become a beacon of adaptability in an ever-changing world. So I want to appreciate you for joining me today on Daily Mind Shift. Until next time, I want you to keep adapting, keep learning, and keep preserving